Social Security cost of living increase. Here's everything you need to know right now to get up to speed on what is happening. In today's video, we will be discussing the latest boost to Social Security, the highest since 1981. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hey everyone, I'm Belle. Welcome back to my channel. I'm really happy to be joining you guys today and bringing a little bit of good news during these difficult times. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a big thumbs up for me. All right, let's get into it. As you all are well aware of, inflation has been kicking everyone's butt, like everyone. Currently, at the grocery stores, it is a zoo. You cannot leave the grocery store with 5 items and it doesn't cost you $50. So because of that, the government is giving those who receive Social Security another boost. Retirees are getting an 8.7% cost of living raise, the biggest in decades. Social Security on Thursday announced an 8.7% cost of living adjustment for retirees, the largest inflation adjustment to the benefits in 4 decades. It's a welcome development for millions of older Americans struggling to keep up with fast rising living costs. The cost of living adjustment for 2023, which will be applied to benefits in January, is based on the latest government inflation figures. The final COLA, as the adjustment is known, was released after the Labor Department announced the Consumer Price Index for September, which came in at 8.2%. Medicaid enrollees can anticipate some additional good news also. The Standard Part B premium, which is typically deducted from Social Security benefits, will decline next year. The COLA, one of Social Security's most valuable features, will give a significant boost to about 70 million Americans next year. While retirement comes to mind when most people think about Social Security, the program plays a much broader role in providing economic security. In August, the program paid benefits to 52.5 million people over the age of 65, but younger beneficiaries, survivors of insured workers, and recipients of disability benefits and supplemental security income. The program for very low income people added 17.9 million to the total, according to the Social Security Administration data. The annual inflation adjustment has been awarded since 1975 under a formula legislated by Congress. Policy experts have debated whether the current formula accurately measures the inflation that affects retirees, but there's little disagreement on COLA's importance in helping beneficiaries keep up with costs. What is Social Security cost of living? What is the Social Security cost of living increase, and how do people receive it? If you're someone who receives Social Security, the monthly benefit paid to either retirees, disabled people, survivors, or beneficiaries included in an annual cost of living increase that is announced every fall. Last fall, we talked about this and there was a boost that came. COLA increased it, but this fall, it's even higher than last fall. COLA helps seniors try to keep up pace with the increased cost that is touching every single person in every part of our economy. The adjustment for 2023 of 8.7% was announced on Thursday. People can begin claiming Social Security at age 62. Let's take a quick listen to another expert.
Some helpful news to accompany that latest inflation report. Americans receiving Social Security will see a sizable bump in their benefits, 8.7%. That's starting in January, thanks to the 2023 cost of living adjustment known as the Social Security COLA. That comes as Medicare premiums dip just a bit too. But how much will it help? Economics correspondent Paul Salmon breaks that down.
The increase will be the largest benefit adjustment in 40 years and should actually cover seniors' real cost hikes, says retirement expert Angie Chen.
So it should, because the COLA is based on the CPIW, which is the inflation measure from the third quarter of this year. It tracks the actual inflation for urban wage earners.
Unless the inflation rate rises above 8.7% next year, jacking up the CPIW, that is. Today's increase will go to more than 70 million Americans, including 52 million above age 65. An average increase of around $1,700 a year, more than $4,000 for those getting Social Security's maximum by waiting until age 70.
And then there's a reduction in the Medicare premium too, and that of course comes out of your Social Security check if you're taking Social Security.
Yes, so Medicare is taken out of your Social Security check. Last year, there was a big increase in the Medicare premium with the expectation that the Alzheimer's drug, Aduhelm, would be approved, and that would have been a big expense for Medicare.
It'll actually go down compared to last year.
Yes, that's correct.
And some non-seniors get the COLA benefit too, right?
So non-seniors who are on Social Security because they're survivors or children would get benefits and they would receive the COLA.
So who doesn't benefit from the Social Security cost of living adjustment?
I don't think that there are folks who won't benefit. I think it's a question of the extent of the benefit.
For renters, for instance, says housing researcher Jennifer Malinsky.
They have less control over their housing costs, and their rents have been growing quite spectacularly in the last few years. So will it help? Yes, it'll chip away at that rise in rents, but will it solve their housing problems? No.
How does this affect renters?
Right, renters tend to have lower incomes, and Social Security makes up a bigger share of their income. So nationally last year, asking rents were up 11.6% from the first quarter of 2021 to 2022. But in some places, particularly areas of the West and South, prices rose more than 20%, and rents are still growing. So in 2021, the cost of living increase for Social Security was 5.9%.
Even more concerning, though, says Malinsky, is the widening income gap.
When you think about low-income renters who are already reliant on Social Security to a greater degree than their higher-income peers, this is a big concern.
And for older Americans, there's the difference between single-family households because of widows and widowers compared to not-so-old Americans.
Right, so more older adults tend to live alone. The rate reaches into the high 57, 58% among those who are 80 and older, and increases with age.
What about racial disparities?
There are vast homeownership gaps in this country. The gap between Black and white homeownership is at a 30-year high for older people. So more people of color, more older households of color are renters and more likely to have lower incomes and to be reliant on Social Security, but unfortunately to be also vulnerable to rising rents and that are outpacing the cost of living increases.
Despite the gaps, though, Social Security's cost of living adjustment will provide serious protection against inflation to tens of millions of us. And in the end, the COLA supports a suggestion I helped push as co-author of a Social Security guidebook some years ago. Wait until age 70 to take your benefit if you can possibly afford to, as that book's main author, Larry Kotlikoff, convinced me.
Your big problem in retirement is outliving your savings. So if you wait till 70, as opposed to taking benefits as early as possible at 62, your benefit is going to start 76% higher, adjusted for inflation. So if other things are taking away your real resources through inflation, if inflation's wiping you out otherwise, you'll have this secure real income that's higher, and it will continue until you die, which could be 100.
So Social Security is insurance. Still, I was skeptical when Larry first told me this. But if I die early, I'll leave money on the table because there were benefits I could have taken but didn't, right?
Dying early is not a problem because you're not going to regret anything when you're dead. The real concern is living 80, 90, 100 and running out of money.
And speaking of money and a potentially patient Grim Reaper, today's benefit bump will materialize in Social Security checks starting January 1st.